How how would one differentiate between um awareness and a thought?
So they're indistinguishable. Awareness is only known by appearances, and appearances are only known by awareness. But the thought is a very particular kind of appearance. I'm not quite sure. I stop now. I heard an alarm going off. A thought is a very particular kind of appearance because it has, so this water bottle is a very simple appearance. It doesn't impart much information into the mind field, but a thought has the capacity or the perceived capacity to add more information into the mind stream because it can gather up things. A thought can say, the thought can say, the bottle's too dark, the water's not enough in it, I don't like it anyway, I don't like the lid. So it can really add a lot of information. So thoughts can be more disturbing than objects that appear. And all of this has been discussed by ancient sages. So the rishis, who are the bedrock of the Upanishads, they had the physical body, the energy body, the emotional mind, and the intellect mind, and then bliss consciousness, which what we call awareness. So they broke it down into those, they have Sanskrit names, but they broke it down to those layers. And every layer up permeates the one below. So the physical body is permeated by the energy body. The energy body is permeated by the emotional body and the energy body, so the physical body, and then the intellect is at the top. So when you're doing self-inquiry in Advaita Vedanta, I am not the body. I am not the energy body. I am not the emotional body. But when it comes to the intellect, there's a trick because the intellect can go, I don't want to negate myself. I think this is rubbish. I don't believe in this. So it can stop your progress because it has the ability to create thoughts that distort or manipulate existence. So when that happens, that's when you have to start asking, who knows? So you find the awareness behind the thought by asking, who knows that thought? And this was quite a journey for me because every time I got to that, my intellect was like, well, I don't want to do any of that. I'm not going to use it. And it would, and you think you are that, but you can't negate the intellect because the intellect is what's negating. I'm not this, I'm not that. So instead, you have the intellect ask, who is this? And then the awareness is the answer. Right. Well, in fact, you don't find a self, but what you find is that there's bliss consciousness becomes more apparent. But that is a practice. I hope this answers your question. It's a little bit deep, but that's a practice. But I don't do as much of that type of inquiry because I think that the Tibetan system, which is Dzogchen, is more precise in just looking at things and saying, I can only know this through awareness, so it must be awareness. So the Advaita system is to negate, and the Dzogchen system, they brought in Tantra, which is to include. So it's really quite funny, and I'll end it here because I don't know if this resonates, but it's like, I'm not the body, I'm not the energy, I'm not my tools, I'm not my thoughts, I'm not my feelings, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not this, I'm not that. Wow, I found my bliss consciousness. And then as bliss consciousness, you turn around at the next level and you go, wait, all of this stuff is empty anyway. I am my thoughts, but they're empty. I am my feelings, but it's empty. I am this, so you bring it all back again. So a lot of you'll see online with the non-duality teachers, they're stopping at the negation. And then what you have, I'm not any of this. And then you pick it all up again. So then and I know this is a bit of a long way to go around your question, but then you end up with a situation where what's the difference between awareness and a thought? Nothing. They're all the decoration of my existence, brimming forth with bliss, love, and joy. It's an inclusive that where you go with these teachings is to be the absolute in all experience, including everything. But negation is how you first get there, and it's very useful. Negation is very useful when you're trying to find, is there an awareness here? Well, I can't be this because I can observe it. It's also really powerful when it comes to difficult emotions and cravings. Well, I'm not my cravings. I'm not my anger. Gets rid of it. But to have the complete experience of Ananda, I think it's called Ananda Maya, the bliss consciousness, you start to see that you are everything, which is such an enjoyable experience. I am everything. My thoughts and awareness are indivisible.